Representative, so we've been collecting this 5 cents per barrel, right, for cleanup fund. So we don't have like cleanups every day. So basically, it just keeps going in there, going in there, and going in there, building.
I believe there's a cap on it, but even still, cleanups are, when they happen, I mean, even something where sometimes you'll hear about just a few hundred gallons winds up being a very expensive, I mean, which is just a couple of barrels of oil, it can be very expensive to clean up. And that might be the reason we're getting outside of my area of expertise, but that's, yeah, the money's not going into some, sort of slush fund or something like that at all. In fact, it's really, it's been very important sometimes to restore some of the coastlines and things like that when we've had these oil spills over the years.
Okay, well, you just mentioned there was a cap, so where would the money go after that cap?
I believe again, with the existing program, and I defer, I think, to the DEM person, but I believe essentially they just stopped collecting it at that point when they hit the cap.
Okay, thank you.
We're here to oppose because of the 5 cent per barrel fee for this new fund, this new Adaptation Fund. As the Chairman Handy alluded to, make that clear, there is a 5 cent per barrel fee currently on every barrel of petroleum, and that does go to the Oil Spill Prevention Administration and Response Fund, something we lovingly call the OSPAR Fund, to make it simple. That fund was created in 1996 following the North Cape oil spill. It was created for the specific purpose of preparing in the event that another oil spill occurred. So buying equipment, buying booms for containment, training programs for first responders, those kinds of things. That's what it was set up to do. It was supposed to cap at $10 million. When I came on board with the Petroleum Institute in 1999, a little while ago, we were on target to have that fund cap at $10 million in 2002. As of May 4th of this year, there's $3.3 million in the fund. I just checked. So where's the money going? Some of it's gone, as I said, for equipment and so forth. But in 2002, when it was supposed to cap, that's when the legislature passed the bill that started transferring $250,000 from the OSPAR fund to the Habitat Restoration Fund that Chairman Handy mentioned. That's for eelgrass, for fish ladders, those types of habitat restoration projects. At one point, it paid $7.3 million for the Providence River Dredging Project, a project which the industry supported because that obviously does protect us from oil spills. But it's also been used, now I need to put my glasses on, for things like paying for a meteorologist, for a recent habitat restoration project in addition to the $250 for the Audubon Society, for water quality monitoring teams, for electrical transformer oil cleanups. So it's been used for many, many things other than the original purpose, which is why it's never capped out at $10 million. The projects that are with the Adaptation Fund look like revegetation. They sound like habitat restoration projects, just a little further inland. So I would argue that we're now finding another purpose to put an additional fee on per barrel oil that comes into the state. About 80 to 90% of the fee is paid by 2 Rhode Island facilities. That's it. So each year, 2 facilities pay about $1.5 to $1.75 million. This proposes to double it. So 2 companies would be paying $3 to $3.5 million from one year to the next.
Rep. Quattrocchi, please.
Thank you, Chairman. Can you tell us one more time, what year was that meant to be capped, that fund?
Well, it wasn't a specific year, but like this proposed fund, when it hit $10 million, it would cap, and then the fee would stop. We were targeted to meet that in 2002.
Okay. And what year was your fund created?
I believe around the same time. It was 2002. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And, sir, yes.
Sorry, I was just going to add that the Rhode Island DEM publishes an annual report about the OSPAR fund, which describes in great detail the appropriation of funds, how the funds are spent, and I think that, yeah, we share the same report. So for specificity in terms of how the funds are spent, it's very transparent.
Okay. Now, you also mentioned other states that have much more expensive, not expensive, but they collect more money to go into those funds. Same type of fund you're talking about?
Yeah.
A spill fund?
What we have done is try and find as best we can the apples to apples comparison of oil spill prevention and recovery fees, separate from gas taxes and other things. And the information we have are the numbers I presented to you. 12.25 cents, I believe, is in New York State, and 8 cents in Connecticut. There are different fees in New Hampshire, Maine, and Massachusetts.
Now, are you aware of any of those states, if they do any diverting of money to other funds?
I can't speak to that.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, thank you.